The Karen Show. The Karen Show. The Karen Show. Let's go. Let's go. The Karen Show.
Hello, everybody. Hello. It is Sunday morning here, Saturday night for Enzo. So there you go. Hey, Dee, if you're listening, hello, and Banshee, if you're listening too. So a bit of a week for everybody here in sunny Queensland. Earthquakes and proof of aliens, apparently, on Joe Rogan. I don't know. Have you seen anything about proof of aliens your end, Enzo?
No more than normal, but you may notice weather-wise outside the bar that's behind me here, the occasional flash of lightning. Occasional flash of lightning because Hurricane Erin is floating by the Caribbean right now. So you can notice the waves here are a little more frothier and going way up on the beach more than they normally do. So
there you go. Yeah, Tanya says hello, Mr. Eye Candy. Ellen, hello. Hi. Oasis. Both brothers together, I'm assuming. They've worked out their differences. Are they twins? I think they are, aren't they? The boys from Oasis. I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when they first started. I remember we've got a fellow here called who's our version of who would he be our version of? Who used to do the dropping of the ball? He's long gone now. He's dead now. New Year's Eve. He also had a music show.
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark. Yeah. So I guess if you're trying to think of someone, this fellow Molly Meldrum was our version of Dick Clark. Been around for years in the music industry, etc. And he said when Oasis came out, they're the next Beatles. They're the next Beatles. Well, Molly was wrong. Look at Tanya. 16 months, crikey. I'm going to be pulling my finger out, I tell you now. I've got to get back into I'm feeling more, what's the word, normal, I guess. I've started to settle down a little bit, but there you go.
The heart emoji is me. I just looked at that.
Hello. Thank you, Lewis. I guess it's Lewis. Where are you around, Lewis? I wanted to talk to you about an earthquake. If you're around, hang on, I'll stick it in. I'll get Lewis to come on if he's about, because Lewis is always live. And I've been sharing some of his stuff. Where am I? Invite a guest. He might be busy, but we'll see. Copied. Give me a second, people. I've shared it there. Hang on. Paste.
Says he can't come in right now.
Well, of course. Yeah, because he's probably going to go live. If anybody's your mum. I saw the photo you posted of your mum the other day getting out and about, which is because Lewis's mum's been very unwell, but she managed to get out the house for the first time, walking outside the house the other day, and that was really nice. That was good to see. Well, you be a good boy. That's good boy, Lewis. And thank you so much for the memberships. Thank you. Let me see if I still got something. I guess I can play. Just for Lewis, I'll just play. Where's my dancing? It's a super chat one though, Lewis, but I know it wasn't a super chat, but I like this one. So hang on. That was for Lewis. I need to make a new one for people gifting me memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lewis. Guys, Lewis is also a DJ. He does I've bopped out to a couple of. He's got another channel. Oh, Lewis, I'll put the link in the description later because I don't have it handy here unless Tanya's clever and finds it. DJ Love, isn't it? DJ Love. I think that's it. Yeah, I love you, Lewis. He's been doing some great stuff lately. I'm amazed actually, Lewis, that you have not been, that Blake Lively hasn't sent you what is it called? The things that you call to get people's, not indicted. God, I can't. Where a solicitor sends you a letter to get information from you. Because Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been going to town of late on a whole heap of YouTubers that have reported on them. So the Blake Lively's solicitors have sent, just can't think of what you call it. I've gone blank.
Kind of thing?
No, via Google to get all of their information. So they want who has been giving them information. No, she better not mess with you, Lewis. Popcorn Planet, Candace Owens, Perez Hilton, and Lewis has been reporting on a Spanish, isn't he? I think Lewis, a Spanish guy who got well, anyway, it's a thing from a solicitor, and I've gone blank as the word that you use, but basically you get a thing from the solicitor that gives all of your information, everything. Who have you been talking to? We want bank account numbers. We want bank account balances. We want all of your emails. We want all, because they're trying to say that Justin Baldoni, I think that's his name, has been paying people to badmouth Blake Lively. So it's gone from a sexual thing, oh, he touched me, to now it's a bad mouthing. Or maybe it's both. I don't know. Subpoenaed. Thank you. Subpoenaed. Thank you. Thank you, Lewis. And I'm like, wow, mental. So I have to say, in that regard, for that, the thing, Lewis has got it covered. He's been going, oh, there you go. Hang on. Oh, boy. Hang on. Well, let me see. I'm sure. Wait a minute. I'll go to, because I'll get Lewis to put his link up. Just a minute. I'm not very good with my stupid computer. I'm out of practice. Wait a minute.
Not a professional YouTube operation here.
Look, sometimes I can look very professional. What am I doing? Oh, that's right. Now I know what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure I should have Lewis. I would have just clicked on him to make him a moderator anyway. But if I haven't, I'm about to, so that anytime he wants to, he can share his posts.
And that's the YouTube side, right? You have to do that.
I'm only like, so slow. Where are we? There we go. Go to Lewis. Is he? Oh. There we go. Managing. There we go. Save. All right, Lewis, you're a moderator now. So now you can actually share all of your links when you're ready. Yes. Yeah. So, but yeah, Lewis has been covering a lot of stuff. Lewis covers just about everything. I love Lewis's channel, and he makes me laugh too, which is always important. That's why I love Lewis's channel so much. But yeah, and the other day, he went to see, I believe he went to see the new horror movie. Here he goes. Here he is.
Weapons.
Hey, Lewis, what was that movie you went to see the other day? The Friday the 13th or something? What was it? It was Jason.
Oh, listen. So, you do horror, right? Like, kind of, sometimes.
Sort of, sometimes.
Okay, so everybody, and check this out. Everyone in the chat, this is very, very interesting here. And I know a lot of people don't know about this, but I follow movies a lot. So there's been a legal war for Friday the 13th, the series, right? The movies, right?
Yeah.
So one guy owns Friday the 13th, the word, right? The other guy, and this is like a skimmed down version of what's really going on. Another person, I'm assuming it's a guy, owns
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees. So if you notice with those films, there's Friday the 13th Part 1, Friday the 13th Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 3, and then it goes into Jason Lives, right? That's when the lawsuit kicked in, when they don't use Friday the 13th in the title, right? They're not allowed to. So there's been this legal battle for a very long time. It finally kind of got settled, I believe. And they released a movie that's free on YouTube. It's called Jason Universe. They're calling it the Jason Universe. Sweet Revenge. It's on YouTube. It's 13 minutes. And I think it's good, but it's a dud. You're gonna bring back the character in such a cheap way because with those slashers, especially Jason and Michael Myers, you can make millions of dollars. So I don't know why they went that way, but something to look at. There's a lot of weird stuff with legality with films and stuff and the way you word things and everything. So yeah, that's just one thing I reviewed for Grayson Report the other day.
I think I put the correct link because I just found it there. A nearly 16-minute movie. Yeah,
it's a 16-minute. I mean, they can watch it after they watch you.
That's right.
Don't click off. Don't click off here. As a matter of fact, I've seen a lot of YouTubers watch it live and react to it. I guess there's no repercussions for it, but I wouldn't risk it. I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean? The rules here are kind of weird. So
the rules here are quite strange. 1 minute you can see somebody watching a whole thing and they don't get hit or knocked with anything, and then it doesn't affect them. And then other people, usually the smaller channels, get copyright hits, or they're not going to monetize your things and all that sort of thing. So it's pretty tricky. But a few weeks ago, I was getting, my views were so low that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to show what I show. I mean, if they ban me, it's like, who cares? I'm not getting views anyways, but that all rebound once I started, I stopped going live and I'm doing mostly standalones. Maybe you guys want to get together and do 5 to 10 minute short videos, focus in on them. And, I noticed that the crowd loves that. It gives you it's just a quick one they can watch and go do something else and come back later, that sort of thing.
Do one update a day or cut this show up. You could actually cut this show up into segments and then re-upload it. Well,
that's true. Just a quickie. Quick
one. Like a 10-minute. You time each topic 10 minutes and then you repost it with a nice title, and people like that. It reaches a different audience.
Hey, Lewis, where you live, obviously, in Cali, you get a lot of earthquakes come through, don't you?
Yes and no. I mean, I guess compared to the rest of the country, yes. They're very scary when you're not used to them. I'm kind of used to them, but it's not like they happen every year or anything like that. They do happen a lot, but the magnitude counts. So if it has to be pretty big for all California to feel it, or close to where you live, really. But I did experience a few massive ones in my life. Yes.
Yeah, I never want to experience a massive one. I've seen the aftermath. But I did experience one yesterday, Lewis. I was sitting in my car waiting for my daughter to come out of the doctor's office. And the car started to rock, and to the point where I actually thought someone was rocking my car. Who's doing that? And then I'm looking and no one's rocking my car. And I thought, is that the wind? And I'm looking, there's no wind. And then as soon as I was thinking all that, it started to stop. And I kind of didn't think much of it. I thought, oh, that was really peculiar. And then I found out it was an earthquake.
Wait, so you've never had one? You don't get them over there?
I've been through, like a tremor, like, you know, where you feel a sound, you can hear a rumble coming and then it passes through and things sort of shake for a second, but nothing. But I've never been shook like that, like back and forward, ever. It was only 5.6 or something.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. That's you know what's happening when it's happening. Because I've experienced, I think it was a 5.1 here in Kansas.
Yeah.
Many years ago, but that was affiliated with fracking from Oklahoma.
Wait, yeah, because Kansas is flatlands, and I'm no scientist, of course. I just play one on TV. But if you live in a place where there's mountains, that's where that's kind of like earthquake country. So Kansas is flat, isn't it?
Oh, it's very flat.
Yeah, so it's fracking.
Huh? See an extra 5 miles. But yeah, it's down because I live in kind of the southern-ish part of Kansas. I live near Wichita, which nobody knows.
Yeah.
Anyway. But you know, probably like a dozen years ago, they were doing a lot of fracking down in Oklahoma, just across the border. And even their geologists like, hey, there's an old fault line here, but it's like millions of years old. There's never been an earthquake. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and frack away. And as it turns out, that's actually a bad thing. They've since stopped that, and those earthquakes have subsided.
Yeah, don't blame me. Don't blame me. I drive an EV, but I know people swear up and down those are worse for the environment. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But you know, it's funny because I think we're around the same age range, all three of us. Fracking, the word originally when I heard it, it's from Battlestar Galactica. Like they say, instead of the F word, they say frack.
Oh yeah, or sometimes frack that, or
the carb and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that show, man. I love that show.
I used to love that show too. So, what are you doing with your mum today, Lewis?
Well, I was helping her make food, but she heard you and she said, you know what, go on a couple minutes, you know, and support you all if you need it, because you guys always support me and Lisa at Grayson Report, and I wish really like we could collaborate a little more because I really like your stuff and everything, and I think you two here are very, very underestimated as creators and really deserve way more than you're getting and everything. I mean, you know, and maybe like we could talk, maybe we could exchange some ideas to get more viewers here, because if you notice, the viewers keep coming back because they like what you're serving. You know what I mean? So, but we just need to get the word out.
Start slurring and get all nasty and
we could get together and collab and do like Lewis can do his talk. We could talk about the whole sort of thing together and maybe just put a half-hour thing together and boom and stick it out like a half hour, like Lewis is saying, a little one, but talk about little points, and then, you know, I don't know, something like that. We can talk, Lewis.
Well, yeah, that's all technical.
With Lisa.
So what do you think? Do you think the earthquake is summoning is bringing aliens in? What's the topic here? I'm intrigued.
Well, the Ring of Fire circle there around the Pacific has been very active the last really couple of months. So to have something like this and it's very far inland where this earthquake was in Australia, that is very rare. That almost never happens. So that's why Karen, that's why it's a shock to Karen, where she's like, oh, I've never seen this before. So it seems like something's percolating right now. Time is it where I am? It's 8:20 p.m.
That's right, Tanya.
I do have a question for Lewis real quick, because I know he can't stay too long.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on, have you seen?
Oh, no, you're frozen, Enzo.
Enzo froze.
Enzo froze.
Whatever he's talking about, whatever he just said right there, I think the CIA government or whoever, the men in black just blocked us.
I know it's been happening a little bit. Every time he goes to do something or show me something, he freezes, and I think his computer dies, and he's got to restart it. And he was just about to ask you a question.
Well, I'll wait for him. I'll wait for him if you want. And do you think he can hear you?
He can. Oh, well, if his computer's gone off, he probably can't. I think that's what happens. His computer dies, and then he's got to kickstart it.
Yeah,
again.
but his background's still working.
Yeah, it'd be gone, wouldn't it? Well, he probably is. I wonder. Hang on. Sometimes he sends me a message, but he hasn't this time. I should say, what was your question, Enzo? Hang on.
I can wait for him. I can wait for him. Yeah, I mean, the earthquake stuff is pretty scary, especially I got hit with a few of those, and it's always usually at the crack of dawn or like 3. I don't know if you would agree with me, Karen, and everyone in chat, but you know when you have that deep sleep, it's really like at 3:45 a.m. when you're just like, that's a real deep sleep, and that's when the earthquakes hit, right? Here. You know, you're really, really like the deepest part of your sleep is around 3:30 to 4, you know, and then to get hit with an earthquake, it's pretty scary, you know.
Well, the other thing, do you find this, Lewis, actually, and actually chat as well, I'm pretty sure it's a common thing. It doesn't matter what time I go to bed, right? It doesn't matter. I can be super, super tired. I can not be super tired, but I always wake up for whatever reason at around about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, and I find it hard to go back to sleep. Always that time, never 4 o'clock, never 1 o'clock, always about 2:33, 3 a.m. Do you ever have anything like that?
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre, but I think it's related to what they call like your body clock, and it's weird that your body clock it probably is detecting the time of day, the time of, well, night or day or whatever, the time, you know, so, you know, we've been around for a very long time, humans, and we probably evolved to like kind of detect with times, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's Enzo's question while he restarts. Have you seen the movie Weapons yet?
No, I have not. I have not seen it. I haven't had a chance to see it. The latest film I saw, well, I've seen a couple of them, but let me see. Right now you could download Superman, and I loved it. I love the new Superman. But if you want to go on the horror tip, we had a Final Destination, the new one. I forgot the name of the subtitle of it, but I'm not a big fan of those. Like, and this one was good. I had a great time with it. The new Final Destination. Yeah.
I remember the first one I saw at the cinema, and so that shows you going back a long time. And I remember being so upset watching this stupid movie and thinking, oh, you know, the things that would come through the windscreen, and I'm like, you know, and there was no escape. So it didn't matter what they did, they were going to die. It was horrible.
Yeah, it seems like that. It's, you know, death will find you, you know, like, I guess that's the theme of this one, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It's a little gory. I'm not really into gore. Like the deaths were over the top, almost comical. And I feel like the film could have gotten a little bit more serious, you know, and then left a bigger impact. But again, it's the audience it wants, you know, kind of like kids and everything. Well, so
I enjoy the Scream movies. I like those. They make me laugh. Because, like, you know, it's not too serious and it's never generally too gory. But yeah, real gore. Watching a horror movie where it's real gory, I'm not keen on that. I like the ones where you go, no, someone's behind the door, and you know, I do like those ones. But anything really gory, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I love. I love Scream. I mean, it's fun because you're trying to figure out who did it, you know, who's the ender, you know, who's the villain there. Like, I think it's fun.
Oh, D says that the movie Weapons is about some kids that disappear, all from the same class. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, but there you go.
I'll go watch it. The problem is, movies are so expensive, and like they're a pain in the butt to go to. You know.
I have to admit, there's some movies that are good to see in a crowd. Maybe like a comedy or something like that, you know. Like I want to go and see The Naked Gun. Have you seen that?
No, Lewis? But I want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to go see that. I'm told. I think it was it Andy that went to see it and said it was good?
I think he did see it, but yeah, it's you know, Liam Neeson is I guess he plays the son of the
original guy.
Leslie Nielsen. Which was just great. You know, I don't know if you ever watched Airplane. He was great in that too.
Oh yeah. Here, interesting fact for you, Lewis. Here, Airplane was renamed. They had a habit of doing that back in the day.
Yeah.
Here's Enzo. Enzo's back. They had a hi Enzo, he's back.
Enzo.
They had a habit of renaming American movies for the Australian audience, and I don't know why. So Airplane here was called Flying High.
Yeah, you know, I know a guy. I watch his YouTube channel. His name is Minty's Comedy. He's from your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys should collaborate. He is really good. He always has like a top 10 things you didn't know. And he brings top 10 things you didn't know about movies, right? And he brings up the different titles. Like Police Academy was Save the Queen. The second one was called Save the Queen. Yeah, it was strange, like a strange name.
Wow. You know, well, at least they were called Police Academy here. They didn't change those ones.
Yeah.
They're Flying High. I thought, and when I would say, have you seen Flying High to anybody who wasn't Australian, they'd go, what? And I'd go, you know, and I'd say the stop calling me Shirley. And they go, oh, that's Aeroplane. And then I worked it out. Plus I used to watch E.T. all the time. We had E.T. here. And so I would watch that all the time and pick up on differences and then get rather frustrated and think, what do you think Australians are stupid or something? But
no, I think it's a culture. They want to sell more tickets. So they figure, if we change the name, they're not going to get what Airplane is. But Flying High sounds like they're high. You know,
yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I can understand because the original Airplane movie, it was a parody of the old airport movies from the 70s where there was some catastrophe in the air and like the stewardess had to come and land the plane and stuff like that. But to change it to Flying High, that sounds very different.
It does. But look, you know, I'm glad things are shifting a little and people can be funny again.
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet. We've got to see.
Well, early days yet, I suppose, but it would be good because I love that humor where people, like in Australia, Australian humor is very much, to use the phrase, we take the piss out of ourselves. So it's sarcasm. It's like we pick on each other. That's our kind of humor. And Americans can do that as well. Do you know what I mean? Americans.
Well, we let, in my opinion, and Enzo, you know, his life experience is different, obviously, than mine, and everyone has their, you know, their journey in life. But I think we let the people that get offended. This thing's been going on for years and years and years. Like as far as I can remember, we gave them too much power. Like you don't have the right not to be offended in this country. And listen, if they make fun of my ethnicity or who I am, I'm good with that. But I always see other people getting offended for it, and it's really, really frustrating. And like, look, comedy is. How would I say, it's like a melting, I don't even know the right word, but it's like you make comedy out of something to like break the ice, to talk about bigger issues, right?
Exactly. Or if there's a big issue that's stressing people out, you find the humor in it somewhere so people can laugh, because I think that's an important thing too. In moments of certain things you wouldn't laugh at, but in moments of high stress, sometimes it's good to just have a bit of a laugh about it if
Absolutely.
you can.
That's a natural reaction of humans. I remember, that's funny you brought that up. I had a friend that we went to go and watch a Friday the 13th movie in a theater a long time ago. And he's like, I can't believe everyone was laughing at the ending scenes. And I go, dude, laughter is a natural nervous reaction of humans. Like, you laugh at danger. It's not because it's funny. It's just the way it is. We laugh at stuff.
Exactly.
I've heard that, and this actually may be what spawned off of it, because I asked my question in the chat, of course, about weapons. But
I didn't get this. By the way, I didn't see it. I haven't
seen it either. But from people that I know that have seen it, said that there are some genuinely very funny stuff, but it's a very dark humor because of the nature of what's going on. But it's like, okay, that's funny. Regardless of the situation or whatever, it's funny. And that's something we're sorely missing, I feel, as a society right now, mostly because, like what you said earlier there, Lewis, where the easily offended kind of took over everything. And the core of comedy is to kind of parody everything and to kind of poke fun at individuals or whatever's in the news, whatever topical thing is going on, where you can kind of laugh at it. And we haven't been able to do that for a few years now.
Well, we haven't because the I don't know what's up with who controls Hollywood and everything. It's very, very strange. And it's like, like we had that Sydney Sweeney situation a couple weeks ago. I gotta be honest.
Great genes. I'll give her that.
I gotta be honest with you. Like, I'm looking at the trailer. First time I saw it, I'm like, that's a pretty well produced, like the way the cinematography is, and it reminded me of a Quentin Tarantino kind of like little short because of the voice that came in. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, like a grindhouse, It reminds me of. Right, but I never looked at the girl and I never looked at her and go, "Oh my God, she's a perfect human being" or anything like that. Never thought of that. The only thing I thought of was when she turned around and said, like, my butt looks good. It's like, girl, you have no butt. That's what
I thought too. I think I said that to Enzo when she turned around. She said, "My butt looks good." Her bottom she's got a flat bottom.
And plus she had they were baggy type jeans, so that's not going to accentuate anything, anyways.
Yeah. But I thought I've also seen the one with Sydney Sweeney in for ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah, the ice cream one, and that's funny. I mean, you got to laugh. You got to have a bit of fun.
Well, I'm not gonna say she's not a pretty girl, but she's out of my demo, which was she's like 27. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Oh, well, she's a baby. But I saw someone show
make fun of herself. That's a big point in my book, regardless of what she looks like.
Yeah.
Did you see Lizzo's one where she parodied it? Oh, well, she didn't parody it. She kind of did. She was dressed in all denim, the same as Sydney Sweeney, and saying something or other. And I'm like, it's not.
Well, what's really, really sad is I don't know if it was. I think it was Lizzo's and what's the other lady? Beyonce's. Yeah. Is that they're trying to tell me? Look, there's a lot of angles of this. I see people on TikTok the next day saying, "This is a white supremacist commercial," and they're white. It's like, why are you telling me, blonde hair, blue eyes? It's like, bro, she looks like you. Are you telling me you think that? And then the sad part is the people who are fake offended. They're like, yeah, Beyonce, look, her jeans. But Beyonce's wearing a fake wig, a blonde wig to look like Sydney Sweeney. Yeah,
it's just like got blonde hair. Like, she dyes it blonde. She always has sort of that light blonde color. Like, people, it's nothing racist. And like,
no.
Heather earlier said something. What did you say, Heather? The people who are offended are usually only offended on someone else's behalf, which at the end of the day is not their place to be offended. You know, if somebody, if I don't know. So now, if you're born with blonde hair and blue eyes, watch out. You know, you're a descendant.
You know, here's the deal. Here's the deal. A lot of people have become the thing they hate, the thing they're fighting. You know, there's a line in Batman, the Batman Begins. Ra's al Ghul, who is actually Liam Neeson, I don't know if you remember, he tells Batman he sees a criminal. There's a criminal in the temple where he's training, and he's teaching him how to be a vengeance, right? And he says this guy stole from someone, cut his head off. And Batman goes, no. Well, Bruce Wayne goes, no. And he goes, you got to do it. Look what he did. And he's like, Bruce Wayne looks at Ra's al Ghul and goes, I will fight men like him, but I will never become like him. Right? And I think a lot of people have fought racism by becoming racist, Yes. So, and it's really, really, it's like hold up a mirror. There's also a great line, and I love talking a lot because I'm Cuban. We talk so much. But there's a great line in Austin Powers 4. Okay, the guy that plays his dad, what's his name? British actor, and was also in Batman. Batman with Christian Bale. He plays the butler.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine plays Austin Powers' dad. He gets on the screen. He goes, there's no one I hate more than people who hate other cultures and the Dutch. He literally said, but because he goes, I hate people that hate other cultures and the Dutch. He hates, and that's what they are. There's a bunch of racists, calling out racists. It's like, what the hell, man?
I know, it's just really weird, isn't it? It's so crazy, but I don't know. There's a lot to be said for some of the things that are happening at the moment, but things, I'm hoping, so long as you don't live in the UK. But at the moment, I saw a story the other day in the UK. A boy or a young man, I didn't actually see who it was, got pulled over by the police for riding a skateboard, right? So he's on a skateboard on the footpath, got pulled over by the police, got a £300, which would be almost $300 American fine. He lost 6 points I don't know if they have it in America, you get points off your license, and if you lose too many, then you lose your license. Well, he lost 6 points, and the guy goes, I don't have a license. And he goes, well, when you get one, you're already going to be in arrears because you've lost 6 points. And he's gone, what? So now in England, they're treating anyone on a skateboard as if they're driving a vehicle.
Oh, my God. But you're a minor. You're like...
It's crazy.
England is a lost country. They have just gone over the edge.
Have they gone over the edge, England? Are they losing it?
I think in England at the moment, I don't know how it works. If there's anyone from the UK in chat, I don't know how they're going to do it, Lewis. But now, when you go onto your computer or your phone, and you want to go into things like TikTok, Instagram, I think they're going to do it to YouTube, X. You've got to prove your age.
Yeah, age verification. It's a way of censorship. It's a way of getting your information.
Yeah, it's a way of getting your info. So I think they're going to introduce it here in Australia. I said as a joke the other day to Enzo, I'm thinking, well, maybe I should become an American citizen, because at least at the moment, that's not happening in America. And I don't think... with the current government, I don't think that will happen. But
they always say it's for your safety. For your safety, we're gonna screw you.
Yeah. For your safety. Yeah.
Once politicians start saying "for your safety," run.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, where do we run to? We could always get together and meet somewhere in the middle of the desert, find a big cave.
Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Right now, like, we have a lot of problems in the U.S. Obviously, you guys probably see all the news, but I don't know. I think we're winning. I really do.
I feel that we socially, you know, we are certainly winning. The bad guys had their reign for a little while, and a lot of people have just gotten fed up with it. And
I'm saying, look, it's not perfect. There's a lot of things I disagree with, obviously, but you know, it's all right. You know, disruption's all right for a while, and then later on, I do hope that we could go back to before this era of and stuff, and we're like and kind of like the norm a little bit, but right now it is what it is, and it was building up to this point for a very long time, and for a very long time there were a lot of insults hurled at presidents in the early 2000s. This is just a backlash. It's like they got the guy now in there, and he's just the opposite. I'm not going to get political, but this happened. Yeah, this was all building up. You know what I mean? It was coming to this.
That's the norm for the United States, where it swings from one side to the next, and to be honest, that's actually a pretty good balance. These guys will be in charge for a few years. Now these guys will be in charge for a few years. And you can contrast and compare over, generations and say, well, these guys did a much better job than these guys.
Yeah. And look, I'll say this I'm not putting my endorsement on anybody, but I remember when Barack Obama won, there was no way a Republican was going to win ever again. They were done, they were done. And then look where we are now, because in politics, it swings, right? It swings.
It's always back and forth.
Yeah. But anyways, what's this deal real quick with the aliens you have here on the title?
Oh, hang on, I'll show you. I was just, I've showed Enzo. Hang on, where am I? I'll just play this.
Joe Rogan this past week where.
Here, I'm just going to play it.
Tonight.
Oh, whatever.
And there it is.
Tonight on Should We Be Concerned, Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna recently told Joe Rogan that she's seen classified evidence of UFOs as interdimensional beings. Watch.
Whatever these things have, these energy things have.
Energy things? What do you mean?
Well, they call them interdimensional beings. Very credible people have reported that there have been movement outside of time and space. Have I seen a portal open? No. Have I seen a spaceship? Personally, no. Have I seen evidence of this? Yes.
Finally, there you have it. Proof. Proof that maybe someone was told something from someone who saw something that might be something from another dimension or something.
That's great.
And that kind of is very true, where everything we've heard the last several years has been, I heard from this guy that saw a thing that he saw some paperwork that referred to. Yeah, it's the same thing that I heard in Art Bell 25 years ago. It's not that much different.
Yeah,
but as far as what Congressman Luna was saying, I don't disagree with anything that she said. I believe everything. She has certainly seen a lot of the same stuff probably I've seen. It's not exactly the same stuff. But
the saddest part of this, Enzo and Karen, is that I believe you and I and all of us have been saying the exact same thing that Fox talk show guy has been saying. It's, I saw that, they saw that, this person saw. But he gets paid way more than us to say the exact same thing 2 years later. I'm not buying any of it. I hate to poop on it. I don't believe the Congress lady. I don't believe. It's time we see pictures.
Yeah.
If I don't see a picture, I'm done.
We're well past story time of I know a guy that knows a guy.
Correct.
We are at that level where it's like just throw the information out there.
The worst thing that happened was that congressional hearing that everyone got excited about. I'm like, dude, this is nothing.
A nothing burger. It was nothing.
It's like, you introduced a guy named Art Bell. He covered all this a decade ago, plus 2 decades.
I personally am at the point now where I don't care anymore, because if aliens are real, where the hell are they? And and Lewis, you've covered aliens tons, like the Peru aliens, and you've got other stuff that you've
Miami
seen.
aliens too.
And Lewis was the only one covering the ones in Peru. The face, what were they called? Face peelers.
The pelacaras.
That's it. Yeah, I love how Lewis says that. And nothing. And then some YouTuber went there. I can't remember who it was. Some YouTuber actually went to that little beach, and then he come away, and I don't even remember what he said. I think that was a nothing burger too. But it could have been. Look, it could have been anything. But at the end of the day, like, it was very strange. And Lewis was the only one that was covering it. And then once Lewis covered it, everybody else, I think people saw Lewis's coverage, and other YouTubers started to find it. And
I look, I'm not a person to think I'm good at anything I do, but one thing I will say, sometimes I'm like way too ahead of my time reporting stuff. I was the first one that I saw call out Sydney Sweeney for not having a butt. 2 weeks later, everybody's like, yo, she doesn't have a butt. And I go, man, I didn't even get views on that video I made. You know? The Peru aliens, right? The Peru aliens. I don't know what happened there, but that was intriguing.
Yeah,
I'm not buying any of this stuff. I'm not buying any of this stuff. Huh?
Lewis, whatever happened to that kid from Las Vegas? The one.
Well, he went crazy. He went crazy, in my opinion, because he had a good story. These were okay. So these people in Las Vegas, if anyone remembers, there was a police call. Police were giving a ticket. They had their cameras on, and then some light shot from the sky down. Then, like an hour, then a little bit later, 911 gets called, and they're reporting aliens in someone's backyard. Then, the police officer, the police officer went to investigate, and then this family's like, "There's aliens here, this and that." This is Las Vegas, and they took video, and I swear no one sees aliens here except some people. Like, you watch the videos, like, I don't see anything, man.
But the original video they put out was cropped, where they're in the backyard with the fence, and they don't point this out, but every one of those three young gentlemen were packing. They all had guns.
Oh,
and they're like going through a gate and going into the backyard area where the aliens were, and there's this weird shadow that gets cast across like part of the trees. So it's a stealth alien thing. It's like the Predator. You can't see it unless you're looking right at it. But if you saw like later they released like the regular 4K full frame version of it.
Yeah.
It is clearly one of the kids has one of those bar type flashlights where it's just a long bar with LEDs on it. And he's holding like at chest level as he's walking through the little gated area where the wall is, and it's the shadow from that is getting cast up off a tree. And that's
okay.
That's what I feel people were seeing as the cloaked whatever it was that was like peeking over the wall at him and stuff like that. So it was like when I saw that, I was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, and then he came back a year later. He's like,
yes,
they're interested. Now I'm seeing demons. It's like, oh, bro, you're
talking about crucifixes floating in the air and getting twisted and broken and stuff like that. It was turned into thing.
Yeah, sorry, Freddy Krueger was involved. As soon as Freddy Krueger was involved, I'm like, get the hell out of here, dude.
It's. I feel like the second half of that was certainly just trying to get attention for themselves because they were supposedly trying to sell the house.
Yeah,
sell it because there were demons in the house. Now because stuff was flying around and all that stuff. So
where's Zach Bagans when you really need him? He could have brought the demon house.
They're in Vegas. He's got a place in Vegas. Go check that out.
Well, look, I do believe there's life on other planets, and if the galaxy is infinite, then I believe there's intelligent life and non-intelligent life. I don't know if they've been here before. That's questionable because they're probably having the same trouble getting place to place that we do, that we have, right? And when you start, and also a big problem is Google Earth. If there's UFOs, Google Earth would take a picture of it, right? And all the satellites and everything constantly going on, it kind of ruins it. So then here comes the government saying, oh no, the reason you don't see them come into our atmosphere is because they're interdimensional. And then it's like, okay, that explains that. Okay.
Well, I remember seeing Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, and Joe said, do you believe in aliens? And Elon said, no. He said, because I've got tons of satellites up in space.
They all have cameras.
And he said, you'd catch them coming in. There's no way that they could come in without being seen. So Elon wasn't a big, I don't think so. But he said, but hey, if there's something out there, no one's showing me. So I kind of believe Elon on that one. And when you think about it with what he's doing with his rockets and all that sort of thing, they'd see, they would see, because they must have to look out in space. So yeah, I don't know. But of course, now they're interdimensional. So, well, of course, like Lewis says, what are you going to do?
Honestly, I am all in on the interdimensional thing as an explanation versus coming from many light years away. I feel that's why they look more like us, because if you're talking about an alien from another star system with a totally alien planet with a totally alien atmosphere and gravity and a different sun with different radiation coming off of it, all of these things, they're not going to look very much like us with two eyes and a nose and a mouth and two arms and legs and upright walking on two legs. There's a lot, there's not that many walking upright on two legs creatures on our own planet, and we're suddenly going to say, well, they're all just really short with gray skin and giant ass eyes and that can hypnotize you or whatever it is. I would believe more that there's a parallel dimension that they would slip into ours in with a kind of a semi parallel evolution going on whatever their world is.
Crikey, that makes my head hurt.
Well, what if they created a time machine? What if it's us creating a time machine? You know what I mean?
Well, if you have the ability to bend space-time like warp drive, like on Star Trek, you've got time travel. You already have it. You're there.
Well, don't you remember my theory, Enzo? I hope this makes Lewis laugh. I had this theory a long time ago that we have invented time travel, and that a Mexican called Jesus is a scientist and a doctor, and he gets into the time machine, right? So Jesus, get in the time machine. We're going to send you back in time, and he lands back in Israel around the time. Yeah, and actually Jesus is the Mexican doctor who landed, and that's why he could heal everybody, because he had antibiotics. And when he turned the water to wine, he actually had some, he had some Kool-Aid or something, and he put it in the water. So just a theory, but then he would have been speaking Mexican or something. I don't know. But I reckon I don't know. I don't know. But
it's Spanish, Karen. How dare you? You're so racist. This channel is a eugenics commercial. Oh my God. The white supremacy is oozing out of here.
20 carne asada burritos. It's
So Lewis, this is a stupid question. I'm about to ask this, but if you come from Cuba, is it Spanish that you speak, or is it, what is the language?
I think Spanish is the general language in Cuba. There's no other language that I'm aware about, but basically, most people from Latin America are at one time they were conquered for Spaniards, so Spanish is the main language but there are native tongues as well. Not in Cuba, but in other parts. So we are like I would be mixed. Man, the thing is, I think I'm half Italian, half Spaniard. I'm not indigenous, but it is what it is because I'm in Cuba. But someone from Mexico would probably be have more of a tendency to be native Indian, depending on what region, and then Spaniard. But then there's pure Indian too, and pure Spaniard. So
a bit of a mix. But
yeah,
I love listening to Mexicans talk. Or anyone talk, you know what I mean. But I like the Spanish. I like the sound of that. I've got a young girl who comes here and takes my daughter out to go shopping and stuff, and she's from Brazil. So
they speak
English,
Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese. But I like listening to her talk. Like I'll say something, and she'll talk in her native tongue. But yeah, she comes sometimes. She cooks certain dishes for us that are from the Portuguese disc or Brazilian disc meals. I love it, and I love Mexican food. Does Cubans eat like Mexico? This is really
not as spicy, but we do have spice. Our foods, like we have black beans, rice, steak, more Caribbean style. It's hard to explain. More I guess it'll be a little bit similar to Middle Eastern kind of, and Mexico has more of the I guess the stereotype will be refried beans and tortillas, but I don't. But they have great food. Mexican food's great. So is Cuban food, but it's all of it's fattening, man. Like all of it.
But it's
good for you.
Tasty. It's tasty. Yeah, I love Mexican food, so I figure Cuban food or whatever. If I do get back to America, Lewis, if I do, and I plan to, I am going to stop by. I'll spend a couple of days in LA so that I can, come to your house.
We're gonna go live in my studio for sure with you and me. Yeah,
so much fun. And if your mum's up to it, if she's well enough, she can cook a meal or she can teach me how to cook.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, it'd be so much fun. But yeah, I'll get to you eventually, Enzo.
Well, Enzo has Superman. He's from Kansas.
That's true. Yeah, that's where Superman lives, isn't it? It's something like that.
Pa and Ma Kent are from there, so. But yeah, these alien things, man. Like, I am just sick of the whistleblowers. I'm sick of the cameras taking pictures that look like garbage. I am sick of it. Look, I'm okay if they come out and say, look, we don't have aliens. That's fine. But come on, man. Like, seriously.
Look, I think, like, I do remember someone interviewing Trump, and he said that he had pilots in his office, and he asked them questions, and they said, sir, we've seen things, blah, blah, blah. And he said, these are smart boys, and they're not, he wouldn't think that they're telling
lies. This was
Joe
Rogan. You're talking about the Joe Rogan interview where Joe Rogan.
Oh, was it Joe? Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Rogan actually had Trump there. Trump has a big mouth, no matter what you think about him. All right. And he started talking about aliens. This was before the election. And Trump started saying, oh, you mean about that place that they go a lot? And Joe Rogan's like talking, and he goes, well, there is a place that they go a lot to, and something about Mars. And Joe Rogan just starts talking over him. Like,
yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's like, bro. Oh, Trump's about to spill the beans, like Trump's acting like a 8-year-old boy, like spilling the beans about aliens. And then Joe Rogan's like, yeah, because I had a guy come over my podcast and talk about aliens. It's like, dude, no one cares what that guy had to say. This is the president, let the president spill the beans.
So I don't know. I think by now, but then again, there's a lot of things by now we might have been shown. But I think, so far as the alien thing is concerned, if there is something, I think Trump would go, just show him. But who knows? Who knows what the hell's going on? Gives us something to talk about, though, doesn't it? Because what if they come out and they show us, and then all of a sudden, some of these AI videos now You could just about, they're hard. Have you seen, I saw one last night. I was looking at something and it looked like all these people going into a cave with Egyptian statues and all this. And I'm like, is this real?
No.
I'm looking at it and it wasn't. It was AI and it looks so real. And I thought with this now we won't know if it's real or fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, all the information that's available, I was thinking this the other day, all the information that's available right now, we're actually dumber because we don't know what's the real information.
Right.
There's no verification.
You can't just, like, if someone genuinely sees something weird and they pull out their cell phone and they get, because, the last 2 or 3 generations of cell phones, whether it be an Apple or a Samsung, have some pretty good cameras on them. And, if you have your settings correct, you can film something at night that it's going to look pretty good. And if they film something anomalous, everybody in the world, even if it's the real thing, if there's an alien that pops out and it's like, hey, you humans, don't you use nukes? We're going to go now. And they take off, because that was the common theme throughout the 50s, 60s, and early 70s, where aliens would land and tell the farmer in the middle of Kansas somewhere, like, hey, you guys need to stop doing that nuke stuff. We're going to go now. Have some pancakes. And they would take off. And the pancake thing is a real thing. You can look it up. It's anyways, you would have people that if they today were to film that, everybody on the planet's going to go, yeah, that's AI. Yeah, it looks like crap. I can do better stuff than that on my phone right now. All that shit. And it's so aggravating because it's gotten to the point where the real thing could happen and someone could capture it, and we're not going to believe it because it looks too real.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe something like in that movie Independence Day, where the big mothership, they all fly into all big capital cities. I think you'd actually have to walk out of your front door and look up. And then even then, apparently, according to Y-Files, there's things that they can do now to actually make things look
Project Bluebeam. Everybody brings up Bluebeam, and it ruins everything. The reason why it'll never be Bluebeam is because everybody knows what Bluebeam is.
Maybe we are really in a matrix, and if that's true, if this is a matrix and somebody's watching us, I want to be programmed that someone really, I'm a millionaire. I live on top of a mountain in a big castle with everything I need, including good-looking men to do all the chores around the house. And, that'll make me happy. So put that into the matrix and make that my reality, please.
that is a fantasy world, for sure. That's
because the life I'm living is not my fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't really know what is. Lewis his fantasy could maybe be that he's the top DJ worldwide, and I
just want to get a gig once in a while, get hired once in a while. That's all.
Yeah. I know, because you're good. You're good.
Thank you. There's a big DJ out of Australia. It's not Mal P. Dumdala.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a big DJ, but it's all electronic dance music, and it's derivative, from disco and the house music. I don't know if you guys even would know about that over there. Yeah. And then techno, it's like a worldwide thing, but it's really, really like, I remember back in the day playing that stuff and everybody's like, that's a fad. It's going to die out. This was in the 80s. And I used to have guys that were into like hair bands tell me, oh, your shit sucks. It's going to die out. And like, I think your stuff died out before mine. Because right now, like, house music's bigger than anything, like bigger than ever. And it's like, no one's listening to, I mean, no offense, but Metallica's not really current, but it's good. It's good, but it's not current.
You could mix it with over here, Lewis, we call house music and stuff. If you're playing it, we call it doof doof. Aussies will say doof doof, like doof doof doof.
Yeah, That's a kick. That's the 909 kick. It's a 4 on the floor.
You should name your
So,
channel that.
Huh? What was that, Enzo?
You should name your channel that.
My channel used to be Doof Doof Paranormal, but that was because one day someone asked me about music, and I said, "Oh, I just can't stand that Doof Doof music." And someone went, "What?" And I said, "You know, when you pull up at the lights next to some young kid, and all you can hear is."
You know what though? You know what? With that music, you have to go to a event that does it properly to understand it. I do understand, like some people just hear the kick and that's it. That music only works in a dance atmosphere.
Yeah,
but once you see the way it's supposed to be done, then it's like, okay, I get it now. You know, it's pretty. I mean, even Lisa from Grayson Report, she was a hardcore rocker, and I went and took her to a couple of these. Like, she likes this music more than I do at this time. You know, yeah.
Wow.
So, but yeah, she's doing. She's gonna lean more into horror movies and paranormal. You know, I guess paranormal stuff. Karen, I think something you all you probably brought it up already. Something you all should talk about is also the Annabelle doll, right? I actually do think it's haunted.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's the only thing, because there's just here's the deal. I do believe there's, at the very least in this world, negative energy, right?
Oh, for sure.
And I think that there is a possibility that this negative energy could be called a demon, right? And I do think that maybe in the beginning, Annabelle, the Raggedy Ann doll, was really a hoax, right? But I think all this attention brought to that doll has brought negative energy to it. And what really got me is that the handler just passes away all of a sudden. And this is after Lorraine Warren's grandson had warned them 2 weeks before, do not take that doll out. You know, something bad's going to happen. And Karen, we did see it's a curse.
Yeah,
it's a curse. Karen disappeared.
I did 2 other live streams earlier this week. Perfectly fine. I get on Karen's show and my whole computer blows up. So
no, I think I'm gonna go when she comes back, because let you guys go. But see, Karen, is she back?
I'm back.
I don't see you.
Oh, you can't see me. You can't see me?
No, it's a black screen. Oh, there you are. You're back. You're back.
Am I back?
Can
you see me now?
Yeah, but you notice how we started talking about Annabelle and you disappeared? The doll's cursed. It's a sign.
I wonder if my Annabelle. I wonder if my Annabelle doll is cursed. I don't think so.
I think. Look, out of all the stories of Annabelle, this is the most legit one. You're telling me that the guy dies, you know? And look, here's the deal. The paranormal community went out, a lot of them, not all of them, and said, stop blaming the doll for Dan Rivera's death. This is not a joke. It's like, well, you guys have been telling us that the doll is cursed for all these years. We want to say, right?
Yeah, it's cursed. It's cursed, but not right now. When the guy died, no, that's not a curse.
Yeah, it's cursed.
Matt Rife, who is a comedian, stand-up comic, he's also an actor, but he's now apparently leased the property where the doll is kept, the museum or something. And I'm thinking, oh, well, I hope nothing happens to him, because he's kind of cute to look at. But but it's interesting. So, but I don't know what I think. I still think it's just a doll. But like you say, Lewis, it is a bit weird that, like, I'll admit it's a coincidence. And what do they say? There's no such thing as coincidences. It is a coincidence that the doll was in a mansion down south somewhere, and the day after, I think, that the doll was left to the building, that mansion, or burnt down. Yeah. And then, of course, there's this guy who's been touring with it who died, and we still haven't heard how. I'd say heart attack. something
But
like
that's
that.
still even if he did pass away from a heart attack, that still could be a curse because
Well,
look, here's the deal. Do I believe certainly that there are demons or anything like that? No. But do I respect it? Yes. I do believe it is a possibility. I haven't seen proof. Nothing's really proven to me that there are no paranormal entities.
yeah,
I do think there are people that BS about it, but when it comes to Annabelle, this is the first time I was kind of like, this is weird. With this incident with Dan Rivera, I go, this is weird. This is
well, be interesting. Yeah, be interesting to see going forward if anything more weird happens with it. Like it is strange. Like I do remember watching an episode with Zach Bagans where he had the Annabelle doll, and he was like, oh, and I'm like, oh, Zach. So, but who knows? Maybe he really was, possessed. Lewis, have you heard of, how do I say that? A great up and coming music artist. Ninja. I can't even say that word, D. Nina Geraci?
Nina Laraji? No, I haven't.
No, I don't know. Oh, she's an Aussie, is she? Oh, well. Aussie.
Yeah, who's the Lisa's here? How you doing, Grayson Report? She's here eating dinner.
Hey, Karen, what's going?
Hello. Hi, Lisa.
Who's from Australia? It's Dumdala, right? Dumdala?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Malpi? Is that Malpi?
I don't know.
Dumdala's from Australia.
There's a few Australian DJ girls, I think.
Is this the guy with the mustache?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nina J. D keeps saying. I don't know.
Airwolf Paradise? I don't know.
I don't know. What are you eating, Lisa? What's Lisa eating?
Yeah, what's for dinner?
She is eating Mexican food right now. Yellow rice, and I would say, what is that? Like on the enchilada? Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind an enchilada. I like chicken enchiladas.
And she's the skinny one out of us two, so she eats way more than me. That's the way it works.
It's always the way it works.
Okay, it's been great. I'm gonna let you all go.
Thank you, Lewis. Yeah, we'll
love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Love you, Lisa. See you,
Bye,
Lewis.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. Bye.
Wow, that was a nice surprise. Look at that.
That was a lovely surprise. Yeah, Lewis is good value. I love Lewis, and Lisa's gorgeous. So it's absolutely, I've become quite attached to Lewis over the last few years, but especially the last few months. He's always very supportive, and he's a good person. Do you know what I mean? He's a good person.
I greatly appreciate his efforts for tracking the strange that goes on in Central and South America, because there's a lot of it that we never hear of in the United States, mostly because of the language issue, because it's mostly Spanish down there. Yeah. And we just never hear about it because of that. It just doesn't make its way through the filter, where there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on down there that we just never hear about.
And I think from memory, in regard to the face peelers, I think it was his mum, from memory, that put him onto that, sent him something, and then he would come on and he would what's the word you use? Interpret. He'd tell us what they were saying and it was a little bit because of where it was down in Peru. The language, as he was pointing out before, was a little different, but he could pick it up. So no, right. Lewis actually sometimes picks up some really great stuff, and it's really weird too, because Lewis's channel used to be quite like you'd tune in and there'd be a lot of people watching, you know what I mean? But I don't know what YouTube is doing lately, but a lot of different channels aren't getting the views, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of like they're not putting you out there. The algorithm, I don't know what the hell it is, but that's what Lewis was meaning by he's hardly getting any views, which is really unusual for Lewis, you know, because he still has Andy, like Andy at Popcorn Planet, tons of views. And Andy will sometimes do raids on Lewis's channel, and people will go over and become in the chat. And that seems to work, but it's just really weird. Yes, there's a hurricane passing by, D. So, but you know,
I switched to the Elbow Room Bar in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There's always something going on. You may see a shooting or stabbing behind me. So,
actually, I wonder if I can find it. I probably can't now. Hang on a second. Florida. Man saves bear. Yeah.
Oh,
let me see. Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Stories are always the best, no matter what. Because
hang on, I'll just pause it. I don't think there's video, but how do I? I don't think there's any sound. Share screen. That one. There we go. See the big bear? So apparently this bear got shot with a, what do you call it, a tranquilizer dart? The real story, right? It got shot with a tranquilizer dart, and it went out into the, hang on, where's the picture? See him? He got shot with a tranquilizer dart, and then he went into the water, and of course the tranquilizer dart started to work. So this man went into the water and grabbed the bear and saved its life.
I believe it. Yeah, there's you can see, like in that picture there, well, previous picture, you can see this bear has been caught before because he has the ear tag. He has the green ear tag, meaning that state wildlife and parks or whatever they're called in Florida, you know, whatever their version is. They have had to tag this guy before. He's encroached on humanity enough to where they've had to tag him in the ear before.
Yeah, well, I know, and there they go. They've taken him out. But I thought, that's a wonderful story. You know, poor little bear.
Because because we all watch like wildlife shows. It's like, we'll shoot him with this tranquilizer dart, and it'll be harmless to him. It's like, no, you have to really know what you're doing with those tranquilizer darts. They're very, they're strictly controlled. They're only good for so many months sitting in your refrigerator of your bio lab or wherever it is that you're, working out of. And you have to guess on the size of whatever, the weight of whatever creature it is that you're shooting at. And whatever it is, there's different things for like a 100-pound deer versus a 100-pound bear. There's different calculations that go involved. There's a lot to it as far as using that stuff. It is certainly not an exact science.
No,
and,
I had a friend, a doctor friend, who worked up in. He's Australian, but he went to work in Alaska for a little while. I'm trying to remember the name of the place. It was right on the edge of a lake. Anyway, polar bears come into town all the time there, and he told me that when they come in, they get tranquilized, but they get spray painted, and then I think third time, if they come back into town, they shoot them. They kill them.
Yeah, third strike and you're out.
And I'm like, that's terrible. But the problem is, of course, polar bears are massive and can rip you apart in 5 seconds.
They're monsters.
Yeah, but yeah, I think in that case, D, that the fellow who rescued the bear was not the one that shot it. Someone else shot it. He was just at the beach.
And to be honest, if as the story describes, they got tranked and they're trying to swim away. They're using the water as a barrier. They're not going to follow me into the water, and they're obviously they're mad at me. They're shooting at me. I'm going to try and escape, and going out into the water, I'll just swim away, and they won't chase me because humans kind of suck at swimming as far as that goes. And
but the poor thing all hit in.
When the tranquilizer hits when you're out in the water, you're going to end up drowning because you're going to basically be paralyzed. You're going to be, at best, not, put to sleep for a period of time in the water, which doesn't work out well. So this guy coming out, he saved that bear's life.
Oh, for
No
sure.
doubt about it.
And I think that bear owes him a cuddle and a kiss. And if he can't give it to the man, I'll go find the bear and give it a cuddle and a kiss. I'm going to, probably that's the way I'm going to die one day, trying to give a bear a cuddle and a kiss.
So I'm assuming by the videos that we showed, that was a black bear. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it looked like a black bear.
Yeah, but
Laura says that she's
fairly harmless. It's one of those, like, if you run across one when you're out hiking in the woods in various parts of North America, where you can,
I think you just go like that and they'll run away. Yeah,
you can make a lot of racket, and I'm like, hey, that guy's weird.
Well, I'll find out one day when I go to visit, when I go to Virginia City again and stay with Taylor, because she does have a bear that comes and raids her rubbish bin. So I'm going to be prepared when I go to Taylor's. I'm going to have maybe a chicken. I don't know what a bear would eat. What would a bear eat? A chicken?
They will eat anything. They will eat anything you put out there.
I'll have something.
The exact wrong thing to do for the bear. You shouldn't be feeding wildlife like that, because then they become dependent on having that chicken.
Yeah, but I'm only visiting once. And I can't help it.
They're going to come back thinking it's going to be there again the next week when they come into town, and they're like, hey,
they'll soon learn the Oh, leave me alone, Enzo. Leave me alone. Let me dream. Laura says that she's got a story that a family member saved 4 baby squirrels because their mama was killed. So she's brought them into the house and is taking. Now, that's something I do. I do that sort of stuff. Like that, I think you might all remember when I had all those little baby rats. But Tanya, Sarah's like, leave me alone. But who's Timothy Treadwell? Who's Timothy Treadwell, Dee?
Was that the guy in that bear documentary where they ended up chewing on his head at the end? That guy?
Could be Treadwell. Oh, him, yeah. Oh, well, that was his own stupid fault. You don't take your girlfriend. They say that he'd been going there for ages, but the difference was that he had his girlfriend there, and they believed she was menstruating. So, yeah. Started to attack the girlfriend first. Yeah, started to attack the girlfriend first from. Oh, where have you gone, Enzo? Started to attack the girlfriend first, is my understanding.
Oh.
And he tried to save the girlfriend. I think that's right. It's all on the movie anyway. If anyone, what's the name of that movie? Can't remember. It was about him, and it shows the end. And the audio is quite sad to listen to.
What was it called? Bear Whisperer or something crazy?
No, I can't remember. But it was terrible. But that's what I mean. Like, if someday I do something silly, like try and feed a wild horse and it kicks me in the head dead, that's my fault.
Yeah.
No, but it's not the horse's fault. If I go to give a wild bear a chicken and it grabs me instead, that's my fault. Ain't the bear's fault. If I'm in the water in the ocean swimming and a great white bites me in half, that's my fault because I'm in its house, not the, so it is what it is. But yeah. Yes, Tanya, we're at a different bar.
Yep.
We are. We're in Florida.
The Elbow Room Bar in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Any good looking men? Let's have a look, ladies. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
hang on. Hang on.
I can get out of the way. Whoa.
Hang on. I can't really see anyone in particular. Nah, this bar's a bit of a dud. You need to go to a bar where football players are going to have a drink after this.
Center Square, which means it is great.
Oh. Okay. The bear got Enzo. Yeah, no, you just popped out for a minute.
They're my friends, and they'll be happy with me. Oh, he's biting my head.
I don't know. I could think of. I don't know what a good way to go would be. The only way to go for me is just to go to sleep and not wake up. But yeah,
freezing to death is the way you want to go.
Elbow, yeah, freaking Elbow. However, he got voted back in D, I don't know. Bloody idiot. But anyway, hopefully he'll be out next time. Trump won't even talk to him, and I don't blame him. Bloody dickhead, wanker, twit. Fair income. He shouldn't be running our country, but he is, and unfortunately, that's what we're stuck with. But never mind. It is what it is. Bloody dickhead. I swear to God, it's just like tosser. Yeah, that's a word I didn't say too. Tosser, dickhead, wanker. I don't know. Idiot. I loved, yes, I did. I loved all of our prime ministers before Howard. Yeah. But I didn't love all of them. Like I was too young to really like Whitlam, but I look back on history and I think he was all right. And of course, I've gone blank. Struth. He's dead now. I've just gone blank. He used to be in charge of the unions, and then he became prime minister. And now I've gone blank. Anyone? Hello. Hi, Stormy Day. Gillard. Oh, good Lord, no. Jesus, she was terrible. Hey, Jessica. Hello, Jessica. We had a female prime minister, Julia Gillard. And look, it was good that we had a female prime minister. That was nice. But she was a bit of a wanker herself. But then again, she was female and she did get cop a hard time. It was hard for her. But yeah, I've just gone blank as to the prime minister, my favourite of all time. He gave us all he said to anyone who doesn't give their employees the day off, you're a wanker or something like that. He said it was when we won the America's Cup back in the day. And I've just gone blank. Oh, how can I go blank on his name? I swear to God, I must be getting, what do you call it, dementia. Aussie Prime Minister. Jesus. Bob Hawke. That's it. Thank you. Imagine that. Hawkey. He was my favourite. Bob Hawke. He was a proper Australian. What are you doing there, Enzo?
This is a little gift from Jessica this past week. This last Thursday, we did a little road trip from our independent places and met up in Iola, Kansas.
Yeah.
To hear a little bit about some of our local ancient history. And I was presented a gift by Jess that this is a they're like dice, but it's what is the word I'm looking for? They're
cubes.
They're like UFO. I'm totally drawing a blank on it, and it is really making me angry that I can't remember. It's they're cubes like dice that I would hang off of my new van.
Oh, off of the like your fuzzy dice that you would normally hang up.
And they're all crops. The designs on them are all crop circles design.
Wisdom pointed that out. So did Dee.
Yep, they're all crop circles. But we went on to Iola, Kansas. There's the gang. We're all standing there. We had Professor Buchanan here on the right, who is an expert on petroglyphs in the Kansas Smoky Hills area, which is very close to the area where we did our UFO day thing back in July. Because we heard a story about like petroglyphs and stuff like that nearby, and like we had no idea about any of this. And as it turns out, Mr. Buchanan was doing a presentation at a local library there that talking specifically about that we all attended, and
Tanya.
it is certainly nerdish. Yes, it is certainly. But, so some of the these particular petroglyphs, they're 300 to 400 years old for sure. There are some that are much older than that.
I've got a question about that particular petroglyph.
Yes.
If I were going to guess what that was a picture of, I'd say it's a man because it's got boobies up the top and balls down the bottom.
That would probably pretty accurate, I feel.
So I'd be saying they've drawn a picture of a man, but I don't know what the man's doing because I can't see anything.
There's a lot left up to a lot of interpretation because we are talking about stuff that was made, hundreds of years ago. 300 to 400 years ago for a lot of it. Some of it maybe much older than that by comparison to local tribes where they would ask to examine some of these places, because a lot of these places are owned on private land. So you can't just go out and, see it. But they have allowed people to come in and do detailed photography on a lot of this stuff. There's a book, Petroglyphs of the Kansas Smoky Hills, that you can buy on Amazon if you want, that has a lot of close-up stuff in there. It is cool. It's a lot of ancient native culture stuff for the Central Plains states. That there's some pretty remarkable things that are in there, kind of buried in there for me at least. We've taken that's been a big local interest thing there, where this particular symbol that you can see, where it's like there's two arms and there's a part and there's a central part and then there's two legs with a central part.
Well, that's a man squatting.
Actually, the symbology of it is actually thousands of years old for a lizard.
A lizard? Oh, yes, that's not a man. It's a lizard, and that's its tail.
Exactly. This is one of the images from that general area.
Or is it a lizard man?
Oh, maybe. You never can tell.
They could have come up from the bottom. You remember when I got trapped down there and had to have pizza?
That's right. You can have pizza with snails on it.
I did. Poor old Enzo. That's pretty interesting, though.
Yeah, a little ancient history. If we want to go consider 400 years ago ancient, for the local area that I live in, it was a very great little chat. It was like a 2-hour drive for all of us. Hour and a half for the Caney crew, about 2 hours for me to get there. But we got to ask a few questions, and they're like, wait a minute, how are you interested in? We mentioned a couple of names, and they're like, oh, I know that guy. So there was a few connections made there with Mr. Buchanan. So it looks like it represents a warrior. Maybe, according to a lot of the Pawnee and Wichita tribes that live in this general area where this is from, they're saying that that's a lizard. So, and is very much older than the 300 to 400 year old stuff that we saw previously.
Well, I could be a lizard man, I reckon. Lizard people, and then it'd be interesting to see, get the elbow room experience with what's behind your head. Get the elbow. You can look at the camera, can't you? What's the bottom of the sign say? Get the elbow experience with band what? I can't read that.
Basically, it's this website that I'm using where you can see the live band playing.
Oh, I see.
The Elbow Room Band Cam.
what did they find, Dee? They found another Maui man, smaller, all dried up quarry. Amazing. Oh.
Easter Island. Easter Island, the Maui, those are the big statues, the big giant long faced heads, and all that. So that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff about Easter Island that's still yet to be discovered, I feel, because a lot of it's like half buried, and you don't want people going in there with backhoes and stuff like that. Just
breaks.
You have to be careful with it.
But I'm wondering, is it half buried or did it sink at some point? Because why would you bury those statues? Like, why would you make them
over time of just sitting there with if you're not doing anything interactive with it, you're going to get layers and layers and layers of sand that build up over time, and so there may be a way to determine like how old something is because of the number of layers, but there's a lot of those moai that are, because it was only like 15, 20 years, 20 plus years ago that they discovered that, wow, there's like an entire body. It's not just like a face, which was what was sticking above the ground. When they started, excavating around it and discovering that they have, arms and fingers, and they're like grasping in their bellies or other areas below the bellies, in some cases, and legs and so forth. There's a lot more to it than just a weird elongated head kind of sticking up above the ground. So
I was going to show you something. Hang on. How do I pause this? Oh, like that. I don't know if anybody's seen this. It's a bit off subject, sorry, but I just wanted to hang on, share screen. Where am I? Share. Has anyone seen this? This is Chit. It's I found it the other day. He's got his own channel, but they're an improv group from Los Angeles. And obviously in improv, you have your characters or whatever, but he's got this thing, this short, but hang on, I'll just play it. Hang on. Just check it. You ready?
What was that?
Is there a black person here?
What did you just say?
I said, is there a black person here?
Do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there a black person here?
Chit, why are you asking that?
Janice said there was one in here. Came to check.
There's a white person here too.
Well, I don't need one of those. Mm-mm.
Chit, please stop what you're doing.
What's the big deal? I'm just trying to find the black person here.
Well, you found her. Okay, you got her today. Okay, let me see. Let me set my sparkling down.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
Chit, are you saying, is there a black
purse
in here?
Yeah. Success. I like your haircut, Linda.
Thank you, Chit.
I think, he's got a whole thing. I can't think. There's on his channel, I think there's something like 30 videos at the moment. So it's like The Office, and they only go for like a minute or whatever, and it just brings out. It makes me laugh. It's super funny, but when you see him in reality, he looks nothing like Chit. It's funny, but that was the first one I had seen, and I'm like, what's he doing? And then when you think about it, is there a black person here? That's exactly how it sounds. But there you go. It's even going back to the subject of East Island and whatnot. That place that you went to, Enzo, that looks to me like it's from the days of where is it, down in South America, those old Mayan buildings, and you went to that thing that's in the wall.
Castle.
I've been watching a few things, and I still think it's very possible that the Mayans were up higher. I still think it's possible that it's Mayan And because I've been watching a few different things with going back in time and discoveries and different things in America that they're still discovering even now. And it's kind of like, who knows? Maybe the Mayans went out a lot further than what we really realize. But it's all very fascinating, for sure. Like, it's very interesting. I love everything about that sort of. It always, I think, mainly it tells me that advanced civilizations have been and gone many times. It's just quite fascinating. Yeah, I still think that's Mayan, not Indian. I reckon they were up there at some point, because it's very interesting. But there you go. Oh, look, there's little Enzo.
It's Montezuma Castle. I have to look over my own name. Yeah, it's, the Montezuma Castle. They're in Arizona. Simple structure, but if you can see my arrow, where they built ladders and such on the lower part of where you can see the actual structure, where they would go down, and there's like a stream that went by where they would fish out of and do agriculture in the little valley area just below, like where I'm standing in that area. You can see the green trees in the foreground of the bottom. Growing growing corn, growing crops, all that stuff. And where they would, if bad guys came, they would scamper up ladders that went up to those levels and just pull the ladders up behind them. And they just shower arrows down on top of anybody that was still hanging around after that.
Yeah, and that's where I'd like to go and see the caves, of course, where the giants were supposed to have been rounded up and
yes. I don't know if I mentioned. I think maybe it was last week I mentioned it. I mentioned it to someone, but I spoke with someone that just visited the Laylock Caves not that long ago. Like within the last couple of weeks, and they had talked about the story goes where the local indigenous tribes had cornered all the giants in a certain area, and some of them eventually escaped the little area where they kind of trapped them in, and they went to the Lovelock Caves to escape the attacks that they were getting. And they just threw everything that was flammable, every shrub, every bush, every log, anything they could find that was flammable. They just jammed it into the mouth of this cave and just lit it on fire. And as I was talking to this person that had just been there a few weeks ago, they had mentioned, because I asked, did it look like there had been a big fire there? They're like, okay. He said he'd been to various, especially like ancient locations like that, from hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that where they had communities that lived in caves, where usually there was like one corner where they would build like a fire, and you could see on the roof of the cave where it was all black. And this particular place in the Lovelock Caves was all black. It was a giant fire at one point, where the entire roof of the internal part of the cave was just black with soot. It was a big fire. So that backs up a lot of those ancient claims of, packing the mouth of the cave with, fire, something to create a giant fire to basically burn up the giants that were marauding the locals.
Well, that's a picture of it there. I'm not sure, like you can see, but someone's been there. Like it looks quite like, look at how barren it is. Just. I didn't realize they had that in there. That looks like something new.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's new, but you can see there all of the black.
It's all black. Yeah, where it's just soot that is built up over a giant fire that would have taken up like the entire mouth of that cave. So a lot of information like that, where you look at it, it's like that kind of backs up the old story of, that they just packed the entire mouth of that cave full of anything that would burn locally there, within a few hundred yards probably of the, anything, any plant that was available. They just chopped it off at the ground and threw it in there and lit it on fire.
Yeah. So I don't know if there was real. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I didn't know there was water nearby. Well, there you go.
Yeah, there's a really large, that's actually part of the story with the Lovelock Caves, is where the giants, basically all the local tribes got tired of their BS, where the giants would come in.
Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Where the giants were marauding into the area, stealing stuff and killing people and, actually stealing people, women, to take back to their own place, where there's actually a very large lake that's very close by there. That's part of the story, where all the local tribes banded together. They all had their own differences, but they're like, okay, this is our common enemy. Whoever these giants are. And when one of their marauding parties came in, they all worked together as a group to just attack them, and they corralled them into that lake area, because there's like a very light, almost sandbar type feature in the middle of it. It's not exactly an island. I guess you could call it an island if you wanted to, but there's not a whole lot out there, especially back then. It was just a shallow point in the middle of this giant lake. And so anytime they basically chased them into there, they all went to the middle part where, they could kind of keep their head above water. Anytime they would come away from there towards any part of the shore, because they surround all the local groups, all the local tribes surrounded the entire lake. If they came anywhere close, they'd get a hail of spears and arrows and everything else just launched at them. And they'd scare them back to thing. I guess late one night, after several days of this, a few of them managed to squirt away to some nearby area, and that's when they went to the Lovelock Caves area and took refuge in there, which they followed them to there and just made a giant fire inside of there to burn them all out or whatever. But after that, as far as the legend goes, they didn't have any issues with them because they were either all dead or gone, or they realized more trouble than it's worth to deal with these little humans, where we'll just keep to wherever our own areas are outside of that range. So
well, it's interesting too that the giant thing, giants are part of a lot of cultures' stories. And then in the I'm not an expert in this, not in the Bible. I think in it could be the Bible, but the book of I've got it here somewhere. The book of Enoch or something, the whatever it's called. That there are giants, but they're supposed to be the Nephilim, which are the offspring of a human woman and an angel. So it's kind of interesting. Like, does that mean that maybe there was a breed of human back in the day that was quite large? Because I mean, there's who knows?
Fair, the giants that we're talking about from back in these days that we're talking like 1700s or earlier, we're talking like 7 to 8 foot range, as far as height. There's stories, 30-foot giants. It's like, that's not really a thing. 7 to 8 foot. Yeah, that's a little more realistic. I mean, you can go to
people.
Yeah, you can go to NBA basketball game today and see folks in that range. That's more humanly possible as far as actual giants. And for back in those days, if you were 5.5 feet, you were actually kind of tall back in those days, mostly because of nutrition and things like that. Where and you could even see that even in Europe. You go to there's certainly some old saloons and taverns and stuff like that that date back into the 15 and 1600s that still exist today. You go into the the door to get into the place hits you about here if you try to walk in, because it's mostly from nutrition, growing better quality food and eating better quality, stuff, as things went on, our own evolution of growing food and more nutritious food and things like that, and learning as we go, kind of a thing. But you would certainly, to see, even seeing someone close to 7 feet tall would be a monster, back in like the Middle Ages and things like that. That would be just a gigantic person if they're like 6.5 feet tall.
Well, it's the same thing though, even back in the day in England, cows, horses, all little, all smallish compared, and it's over the years that they've grown bigger. So it's like, and when I was in England and I went to a few of the older buildings, castles and whatnot, some of the castles obviously did have big entranceways. That's different. But doorways into things were, I didn't have to duck too much, but you still had to be aware of where your head was. So, because I'm not overly tall, but the very fact that the doors are sort of just here above your head indicates to me that people were probably about here on me back in the day. I remember going to see, some Australians will understand this, Captain Cook's cottage was brought out here to Australia and put in one of our parks down in Melbourne. And I remember as a child going for a school excursion to Captain Cook's cottage, and as a child thinking to myself, crikey, they were short because the doorways. So yeah, people were small. So you're right. If they had have seen,
if you were, the average height is, we'll even say a tall person back in those days, a few hundred years ago, was 5.5 feet.
Yeah.
If you saw someone that was close to 7 feet, they're a monster. They're gigantic.
Well, they still are. If I see someone 7 or 8 foot, I'm like, oh, holy moly. Yeah. Like, that's big. Like, I don't know what makes people grow so big. But there you go. Well, guys, it's almost time to say goodbye. So does anybody in the chat have anything they want to add or ask Enzo about or anything like that? But yeah, we've had a good show today. Lewis dropping by was a nice surprise.
Great. Always a fantastic presence whenever Lewis shows up.
Lewis is good value. Like I say, Lewis makes me laugh, and that's one of the most important things in life. I think you need to laugh a little bit. Like Lewis can be very serious and Lewis can get pissed off, but most of the time he keeps it pretty light. And I see that Kevin from Tuber Chat dropped by. And for anyone who is on here and you've got your own channel and you would like to get some more people in to check the channel out, I should come back actually, Kevin. I should pop in because obviously my channel's changed a lot to when I first started, but it's really good. Like you pop in, it's like networking, isn't it, Kevin? That's what it is. It's a networking channel. So you go in and you pop in, and Kevin will bring your channel up and discuss your channel and talk about your channel, and then people, if they're interested, can come and subscribe. And for anyone who needs hours as well, if you need hours, a lot of people in there help out by watching one of your playlists or something like that if you're really new channel and you need to get monetized. So it's kind of like, it's oh, hi Mombi. It's kind of like networking and supporting creators, like creators supporting creators. So it's really good. What's Julie saying? I went to dinner with a friend who was 6'6" and talk about making you feel short. Yeah. Well, my son's 6 foot, and Stephen was a little bit, I want to say a little bit bigger, but only by much. And they're 6 foot. So 6'6" is massive. It'd be like, oh. Imagine having a 6'6" boyfriend and he'd have a sore neck from having to lean down to give you a smooch, and you'd have a sore neck from stretching up to get a smooch. The smooching days have gone for me, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, dear. Yeah, hey, Mombi. What do you do, Mombi? You'd have your own channel, no doubt, if you're a fan of Tuber Chat. So tell us about your channel, Mombi. Well, we're happy to have a listen. Normally I keep my live streams to 2 hours because I figure even 2 hours is a long time unless you're bored. Like, because I've learned that even for myself when I'm watching, there's some live streams I will watch and keep them on, like Joe Rogan and PB, I can't think of his name now, where they swap and change from subject to subject. But oftentimes anything over 2 hours, I sort of think, oh gosh, if I'm in bed, it's different. I'm happy to, watch. But if it's during the day, it's a long time to be just sitting there. So a happy subject. Well, that is a happy subject. Leading up to being free from addiction is the hard part, yeah. But that would be a helpful subject to a lot of people. What are you hiding in the bushes for, Dee? Oh, because Julie said she's been lurking. What was that? You gave him a hug and I was around his chest. Yeah, I don't know. There you go. Tall people. Do you remember a song called Short People? Short people have. Oh, that was a funny.
No reason to.
No reason to live, or something like that.
It was not a positive short person, that song.
Yeah. But again, just a joke, short people have no reason to live or whatever it was. It was just a joke. And I remember, was that the same person who sang LA? I love it.
It's exactly the same person. Yeah.
It is.
I don't recall his name, but
yeah, same person. I can't think of his name. And he was that. Oh, what's his name? Didn't he do the Randy Newman? Yeah, Short People, and because he did the Toy Story song. Friend. Oh, what was this Toy Story song they played? Friends. I've gone blank. It was the Friends one. It was the Toy Story in the main. You've got a friend in me. That was Randy Newman too, wasn't it? You've got a friend in me. When the something or other. Yeah, I'm sure that was Randy Newman. Was it? Or am I wrong?
Yeah. You Got a Friend in Me. Toy Story, 1995. Yeah, that's him.
Randy Newman. Yeah, there you go. See, he had some hits. Tom Thumb. Hello. Listening in the background. Yeah, Randy Newman. But yeah, that's some songs just take the mickey out of everybody. I liked it. Yeah, I like Randy Newman. I like some of his work. But yeah, is he still alive? Has to be. He's not that old, is he? Cooking and listening. What are you cooking, Tom?
81 years old.
Wow. People are getting too old. All the lurkers come out just before I say goodbye. Happens every time.
That's how it always works. Yeah.
It always works. I'm just about to go, and
we're gonna go. Oh.
Chili. Oh, chili. I'm gonna go and get some Mexican. I'm gonna go and get some Mexican food. Well, that's all right. You can always rewatch. We did have a pretty interesting combo at the start. Lewis from Nerd Report was here with us chatting about all sorts of things. We can have some good combos. But yeah. But anyway, listen, it is time for me to say goodbye because I am hungry, and especially now that Tom says he's cooking chili. Lewis earlier on was talking about bloody enchiladas and all that sort of thing, and I'm just hungry. So I think, earthquakes and aliens after eating chili. Yeah, well, we had an earthquake here yesterday, so that was interesting. I got shaken around in my car. But yeah, it was the first time that's ever happened. Like I've actually been like shaken by one. Normally people will say, oh, did you feel that earth tremor? And I've been up and around, because that's another thing. If you're up and around and it's just a tremor, oftentimes you don't feel it. You might hear it, but you don't necessarily feel it, or something will happen. But yeah, I was sitting still, so it was pretty interesting. And the aliens was just, we were talking about something that was on Gutfeld, and it linked into us talking about BS again. But there you go. Well, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's Sunday here, Saturday in America, Saturday morning, I think, in England. I can't remember. But Enzo and I should be back next weekend, and I might even pop in through the week. Who knows what I'm going to do? I'm feeling more enthusiastic now about things. What's that? Aliens are responsible for cheese on my burger too. Those bloody aliens, they're everywhere, aren't they? Who's Aaron's brother? Oh, you're talking to somebody else in the chat. But yeah, it was. We weren't at the epicenter, obviously. I saw footage from the epicenter, and everything was falling off shelves and stuff. So it was, but nothing.
That's no slouch. That's a pretty good point.
Luckily, the building that footage was from, luckily nothing happened. So just. It could have been an alien spaceship just flying over and rattling the ground. Who knows, Tom? Well, everybody, do have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys later. And Enzo, I'll talk to you later as well. See you guys. Bye.